Revisiting Gabby Petito in the wake of Depp versus Heard. The Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial is finally over, with the jury concluding what we've known for ages, that we live in a world teeming with narcissistic abusers, sometimes violent, even vindictive, with malice aforethought. And yes, some of them can be women. None of the 386 and counting gender identities hold any monopoly on intimate partner violence. And thank goodness we had tapes, and tapes, and tapes of their repetitive, non-productive arguments to refer to. I was never a Johnny Depp fan. I remember him being a big deal in 21 Jump Street, which I never watched. I had a life. I did find it interesting how carefully he curated his career, avoiding the appearance of selling out, kind of like how Pearl Jam went about it. I've seen a few of JD's movies over the years, and he was terrific in all of them. Look, Truman Capote stated that actors are empty vessels. What does that mean? That they have nothing going on inside themselves until you put a script in their hands or an earpiece and some direction. That's how I felt about JD, until I heard him on the witness stand. And I didn't need a hashtag to convince me that AH was the abuser. Their relationship dynamics, captured on the tapes and tapes and tapes, told me everything I needed to know. Rather than being merely a distraction, the Depp-Heard trial, for those who don't follow politics, has played a vital role in the Great Awakening, shining a spotlight on the narcissistic abuse that we have all experienced and continue to experience at the hands of individuals and institutions, exposing themselves daily for exactly what they are. Indeed, the Depp-Heard trial illustrated everything I've been screaming about on this channel for the past 7 years. But what I really want to talk about is Gabby Petito and Brian Laundrie. If only we had tapes of their discussions. The only tape we have is of the Moab incident, wherein the cops, unable to recognize what a traumatized person looks like, were perfectly fine with deeming Gabby the abuser, having a mental health challenge, being a crazy biatch, and giving poor, long-suffering Brian a hard time. So was that considered a setback for women everywhere? I don't remember there being a big stink about that aspect, although yes, there was controversy overall about the way the traffic stop was handled. And then it wasn't so much that women can't abuse their partners, it was that Gabby was so clearly exhibiting Stockholm Syndrome and dropping clues that the cops overlooked, and Brian was so obviously gaslighting. And what about her tragic and senseless murder? How about that as a setback for IPV victims? I wonder if tapes of Brian and Gabby would have sounded like JD and AH, with Brian haranguing Gabby for being mean and OCD, and how her little blog was a waste of time and would never amount to anything. I wonder if AH had studied the Moab video and emulated Gabby's genuine affect, the jury would have bought that, rather than spinning yarns of epic fight scenes like Sigourney Weaver battling the alien. If we need a true face of DV and IPV, we need look no further than the radiant, sweet countenance of Gabby Petito. Only Gabby would never want to be remembered that way. And once again, that tells me everything I need to know.